Hello everybody and welcome back to another edition of Resonant Rise 3. Sorry it's been a while, but I want to get back into it. I haven't completely abandoned things since the last time I was actually able to record, and hopefully I'll be able to record a little more often now. But one of the things that has changed is we are updated to the latest version of Resonant Rise 3, so that's good. I'm still using the Sphax BD Craft texture pack. In case you're wondering why everything doesn't look like your Minecraft, you can download that with a link in the description. So here's what I've done since last time. You may have noticed outside here I added some farm things going on. I got some sheep and cows and a little farm stuff. We'll do some more farming things later on. I've got some advanced automated farming stuff that we'll do down the road and stuff like that, and maybe even for the sheep and cows, we'll do some of that too. The other thing that I did, and so you'll know where I got a bunch of materials from, and that is that I made another quarry since last time, and I let this one run, and it finally finished. And let me show you the hole that it left. As you can see, that is one big hole. You can also see along the walls all of the different resources and stuff that it was able to gather. Lots of coal and tin and silver and iron and osmium and et cetera, and gold, diamonds. Now this was all being done by these windmills, and you can see all the pipes and still lots of materials left in these. I haven't even cleaned all these out yet. I've taken out some things that I needed, but not everything. And I'll talk about these windmills a little bit more later on, in the pipes and stuff, and also these power cables. But I just kind of wanted to show you that, and we'll come back to it here shortly. Then the other piece that I also did was I built another building on the other side. It is actually going to end up being my main base of operations. As you can see this here. Now it's nothing fancy. I didn't do anything crazy. I just built a large building, lots of marble, used a chiseled marble that I did, as you can see, and nothing fancy. Okay, so this will all end up being the main operations area. Started moving some chests over here and stuff like that. Got an anvil, my bed's in here. Again, all this will continue to be updated. Eventually I'll change this glass out to a really cool glass called quartz glass that has its own like light thing to it. It's pretty cool. The other little room that I added is this little room here. This is going to become our power generation room, and we'll start working on some of that today too, I hope. Anyway, that's kind of the plan. So, but the first things we got to do is we got to develop some more of our machines. Now, you remember last time I was able to set up the ore doubling process by using this enrichment chamber and the energized smelter. And because of that, you can, first of all, here's some of the raw materials that I've gotten out of the quarry. Just lots and lots of stuff. I've also, here's some of the stuff I've already doubled up and created stuff. So lots of gold and a few diamonds and so on and so forth. And so we're going to move things around, so I'm going to fill in these two spaces here today, hopefully. And that's kind of the plan. Now this little thing that I'm carrying around, by the way, that you see in my hand, is called a paxel. And this is just made from steel. This is basically a combination of a pick, an axe, and a shovel. And if I'll show you what that looks like here. So you can see it's just made from steel though. And it's a pretty cool little device. So you can see that it's made from a steel axe, steel pickaxe, and a steel shovel, and then with a couple of iron. So nothing fancy, but the cool thing is, as you can see, it's got lots of durability, has a high attack damage, so it's great for fighting with, but it also allows me to do all three of these things, use a shovel, a pickaxe, or an axe without having to change tools. So that's kind of handy if I need stuff. Okay, so the other thing I've done is make this little clipboard. And so we're going to work on some of these things. So a gas burning generator, electrolytic separator, an osmium compressor, purification chamber, and a crusher. Now, I'm actually going to make the crusher first, and because I'm going to need some dust and things, although I can put the stuff in here in the enrichment chamber, which actually makes more sense really now that I think about it. I'll just turn off the auto eject and make some of the dust that I might need to create some of this other stuff. So let's take a look here at this. So let's work on this gas burning generator. Okay, so a gas burning generator. Now they used to call this a hydrogen generator, but they've changed it. And let's see. Okay, here it is. Gas burning. Yeah, they got a hyphen in it. That's why I couldn't find it. Okay, so that's what it needs. It needs some steel casing. The enriched alloys, which if you remember from last time, are made with the are made from iron and redstone, and then the electrolytic core, which is where I'm going to need some dust. I'm going to need some osmium dust and some gold dust, and we'll work on that right now. Okay, so that's the first thing we're going to do is those two dusts. Now, if you remember from last time, the metallurgic infuser is where we get the enriched alloy. So I've already got a bunch of those already, and so we're going to start working on that. Now, the thing that I need is this to be turned into. Can I do it this way? No, I can't. I have to do it from the raw, which is fine. Let me pull out some raw stuff here. I don't need the silver dust for right now with the zombie brains. So let's pull out a little bit of osmium here. We'll make some dust, and then we needed some gold as well. So we'll make some dust here. Now let me turn off the auto eject, and then this will make our dust. So let's make some of this. We'll make a handful of that first, because the reason I turned off the auto eject, because if I don't, then this osmium dust goes right into the energized smelter, and it just smelts it back into bars. So I don't want bars, I just want the dust, because that's what the recipe called for, was dust. And we can also do this with a crusher, which would do much the same thing, but in this case this is fine. We'll start with it this way. I'm going to go ahead and make a little bit more than I need, because I may need it for other items as well. Okay, so there's that, and let's stick some gold in here. Keep it running. If you remember also, we've got our basic energy cube, which right now is being run off this furnace generator, which just uses coal to keep it running. Now, what's one of the things that we're going to change, because coal is a limited resource in a way. We're going to change it over to using these gas burning generators, which actually run off of hydrogen, which is easy to get from water. So that's what we're going to try to work on here. So let's see here. So we've got enough to start this process. So let's start into our, so the first thing we needed is this electrolytic core. And so let's make this first. Do I have enough? Oh, I need iron as well. Oh, shoot. Okay, so let me get some iron dust. I forgot about that. Put that back because I don't need it anymore. And that's probably plenty of that. And we'll put that. Okay, so let's put some iron in here. Enough for now. Let's put that back. And, let's go dump this wheat. I don't need it. Get rid of the crap that I don't need. One of the other things is these machines make so much noise, as you can tell. I've actually turned down the volume on them because of the other thing. So to make steel, I've enriched some iron, and I'm going to actually go ahead and drop it back in. So all this is you take iron and you drop it into the metallurgic infuser with where I put coal in it to infuse it, and then you just do that again, and you infuse it a second time, and you get steel dust. And then you just put the steel dust in the smelter, and it creates bars for you, which I will need. These are the steel ingots. So there's the steel dust. So I'll need a lot of steel here for this process. So I'm going to go ahead and get that cooking while this works. Okay, so now let's go back here and try this one more time. Okay, so we need this piece, and there we go. So we needed that core. I'm gonna go ahead and make 2 of them because I think I'll need them again for some other pieces. And now we need a steel casing. And do I have oh, I've got 1 steel casing. Oh, I need another one. Okay, so that's good that this is cooking up because I'm gonna need this. Let me go ahead and get this going because I'm definitely gonna need this to be cooked for me. And this is gonna take just a minute to do. You can see that this is going to dump out the steel over here. Oh, I've got plenty of steel here. Okay, so let me take some of this steel. And I believe that I'll need 1 thing of iron as well. Let's see, I don't have any iron with me here, do I? So let's take some iron because I believe that steel casing is steel around iron. Oh no, steel around osmium. Okay, let's do that. Steel casing. Those. Okay, so let's make a couple of these. So now I've got 3 of those now. And we'll put all this stuff back. And we'll go back to our gas-powered generator. Now, I think we have enough to do that. Yes, we do. So the way I was doing that, by the way, if you don't know, with using the NEI, so you just type in gas, and that gives me the gas-powered generator. So what I'm doing is I'm clicking on that, and that shows me what it takes to make that. And then if I hold down shift and click the question mark, it actually loads it from my inventory. If I have all of the items in my inventory, it'll actually put them in there for me and let me create the gas powered generator. Okay, so that's the first thing we can tick off of our list. So that's done. That's fantastic. And let's get some more of that steel here, dust, and we will get it cooking. Although it seems like I have enough in the box already. We need some more coal in there. So you can see it takes all the coal and turns it into carbon, and then it dumps it back into the infuser. So that's how that works. Okay, so the next thing on the list is the electrolytic separator. Now what this is for is to separate water into hydrogen and oxygen. And then that way you use the hydrogen for the gas burning generator. Electro, okay, and that's it right there. So I'm glad I did make another core because there it is. All right, so this is just iron, redstone, and a core. So this is actually pretty easy, especially since I've already got the core made. Okay, so great. So there's that. Now, I had previously made some universal cable. You remember that? And then these advanced pressurized tubes is something new that I did not make last time, but I'll show you how that. I have made them, but I'll show you how I do that. Those are pretty easy in reality. And let's see here. So here's the tubes. So the advanced tubes are just the basic tubes, which is just a piece of glass, a piece of steel on either side, and that's how you get basic pressurized tubes. And the advanced tubes, you basically take 8 of those and surround it with an enriched alloy. Now, I don't necessarily need the advanced ones, but I went ahead and did it just because I could, because it's not that big a deal. So there's the advanced pressurized tubes, because we'll need those to transfer the gas from the electrolytic separator to the hydrogen generator. Now there's one other thing that we need, and that is we need a pump. And I'm going to use the pump from Mechanism so that all of this stuff works correctly. And that is just a steel casing, a bucket, and as you can see, that's pretty straightforward. Okay, so I need another bucket. Okay, so let's make a bucket here real quick. Alright, bucket, and there we go. So now I have a pump. And it looks like I'm going to need some mechanical pipe too, which is actually really handy. So we're going to use the basic mechanical pipe, because that's all I need to pump the water from this our little infinite water source into the electrolytic separator. So let's make some of that. So that's a bucket and steel ingots. Okay, so I need another bucket. Well, there's the bucket. And okay, so 8 should be enough. Now, it's dark outside and I really don't want to deal with the dark. So I'm going to run over here and go to sleep real quick. Alright, here we go. Daytime again. Now, this is where all this stuff's going to live. So I'm going to start the first piece of this. I'm going to end up putting right here. So let's go ahead and get out the electrolytic separator and the generator. So we're going to put down the electrolytic separator right here. And then we will put down the generator here. Okay, so that's a good start. Alright, so then we got to pump water into this. And then we're going to take these pressurized tubes and we're going to come out of the separator. And I just happen to know that this side is the hydrogen side. And so we're going to come out this side, and then this side over here is the you can get oxygen out of it. So we're going to come out this way and put it into here. Oh. Okay, what am I doing wrong here? Okay, there it goes. Alright, there we go. Oh, that's going to be a problem. Okay, well, we'll fix that. I may not like that. You know what? I don't like that. Let's do it on top. Alright, so I'm going to use a wrench. Pick that up. And we're going to put the electrolytic separator up higher on top. Or the generator. There we go, like that. Oh yeah, that's much better. Yeah, I like that better. Okay. So then the power will come out the front of this thing. So you can see that it generates up to 8,000 RF, which is actually really cool. Okay, so now I need water in here. Now I have made a water source outside over here. And so let's bust through the wall here. And we will, because we're going to end up having multiples of these. So we'll start with it there. And I'm going to put the pump on next. Now the pump needs to go right here. And it will need power as well. So I'm going to flip it around with the wrench, because if you just right click it, you can see it rotating. And this little inlet here is for power. Now you can use the power from the generator around, but I'm actually going to use a windmill to do that. So I'm going to go get some of those windmills to do that. Now I'm going to use the mechanical pipe now to connect to that, and then inside like that. Okay, and then we'll finish that up. So let me go get one of these windmills. And actually I may end up getting all 3 of them, just so that we don't have to worry about power. So I think that pump actually uses quite a bit of power, as I recall. It's kind of a goofy situation. They changed it. It used to be pretty light on power, but I think they've modified that so that it requires significantly more power now. Okay, so I need to get rid of something here. Let's get rid of this. Okay. And I'll use these cables because they're expensive. Okay, so we'll set up these windmills. And I'll go ahead and put a couple of them down. And maybe I'll save one of them. Okay, so let's put down one here. And we'll put down one right next to it right here. Can I do that? Yep, that works just fine. Okay, so now I need some of those power cables. Let's get the advanced cable. Is that right? Is that? Yes, that's right. Oh, that's not right. There we go. That's what I wanted. What's interesting is that they've, in the updated pack here, you can see they've actually changed these cables so that you can see the power running through them, which is really cool to me. I love the way that they've changed that. It makes it look like a fluid running in there, which is kind of cool. And so we'll bring that on over here. And we'll put one down there. Oh, not what I meant to do. Let's put that right there. Oops. That's a tube. That's not going to do any good. That's what we want right there. Looky there. And now you can see that the pump is pumping water. Have our infinite water supply. And it's already starting to pump water. Alright, that's cool. Now, I will put this back here. Now, what I'll also do is fill this in with some dirt. In fact, I may just do that right now, just because I can. So that we kind of cover up some of this stuff here. Keep ourselves from falling in. Or critters falling in, which is probably the bigger issue. Okay, now we have our water coming in here, and so let's finish piping this up. And hopefully I've got enough pipe to do this. And it looks like I do just right. Yes, I do. Okay, so there's our pump. And we just need to add... What else do we need to add to this? Oh, you know what? I think we have to come in the top of this thing. The back of it is for power. Let's see. No, okay, that's cool. Okay, so we just need power to it. And... let's see. Oh, you know what? That may be what I need to do with the... I wonder if I can use a basic... No, I don't want to do that. I do not want to do that. So now I have to get this thing started, which I may go just hook up a windmill to it. I don't really want to do that, though. Do I have any more advanced cable? No, of course not. Let's see here. How do I want to do this? I want to take power out of here. Well, let's just start this up temporarily. We'll do this temporarily here. Okay, this is not the best thing in the world to do, given the circumstances, but I want to get this started. I want to show you how to get it started. And you know what? Let's do this. Let's do something really, really goofy here. Watch this. Temporarily. This is going to be like so stupid, but it'll work. Trust me. I think it'll work anyway. Oh, no, of course not. It won't work. It's inside. Duh. Alright, here, let me go steal my generator. Watch this. I'm going to go steal this generator here. And we're going to plunk it down right here next to this thing. And this should get us started. course there's nothing in it. Okay, now, there we go. Now it's running. And watch this, I think now I can take this out of here and everything will stay running. Yep, because the generator is generating enough power to power the electrolytic separator and to keep it running. Now the problem is that it's not generating enough power to, it'll only keep itself running. Well, that's not cool. Now the other thing that we got to do with this electrolytic separator is that you can see it's separating hydrogen and oxygen. Of course the hydrogen is empty because it's all going up to the generator. But this oxygen is going to fill up, so I'm going to actually dump the oxygen out because right now I don't need it. And it's actually dumping that. You can see the little bits coming out right there. That's the oxygen being dumped out. Now, okay, so this is not a good idea. You used to be able to do this, but you can't anymore. So it looks like I'm going to have to use a windmill to power the electrolytic separator and the pump. So I will add that on, and I'll add on the third one of these, and then we'll add some more power to this. Oops. Let's see, that's basic cable. So let me go make some more cable here real quick. And then we'll hook all this up and then we'll call it quits. Okay, so back to cable. And I want advanced cable, so I need 8 universal cables. Alright, so we'll take that. And we'll go to this. We'll take that. And let's see if that's enough. Is that going to be enough? I don't know if that's going to be enough or not. It might not be. Okay, so let's put one here. Alright, so now we're generating a good bit of electricity. So let's see if we can tap right here. And then we'll drill a hole. Oops. Okay, so let's go up here. Let's go underneath there. That's what we're going to do. We're going to power this from the bottom. So this should work just fine then. Let's fill in that hole, because that's a terrible hole. Oh, come on. Oh. Okay, so now we can, oops, actually I do want to go down one more if I can. I don't know that I can. Can I do that? Is it gonna work? I may have to come back to this later. Okay. For now, we're going to put that there. And we'll put this back. So now we've got that powering underneath. And what we can do is remove this. And it should stay running on its own now. Now, has that thing got power? No, it does not. Why does it not have power? Oh, I didn't go far enough. Oh, jeez. Alright, we're going to put a piece of basic cable underneath here then. And let's dump out that wheat. Goodness gracious. Terrible. I warned you guys. I warned you. I said I'm a noob at this sometimes. And so there's the price you pay. Okay, this is it. This is the price you pay. So, there, you've been warned. Now, that should be working now. Okay, so somehow we have... Oh, we've rotated this, that's why. Okay, there we go. So now that is pumping. And we have, yes, full power. Fantastic. And that's being emptied out directly into the generator. The generator's full of power, it's filling up with hydrogen, and everything is working great. Okay, so this is a good stopping point for right now. Next time I'll hook up this power up to the energy cube, and that way we can power all those machines. Alright, well, it's a good stopping point. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time, and thanks for putting up with my noobness here. Thanks, bye.